So you haven't faced enough, apparently, that the universe wants to throw another curveball at you, challenge you a little bit more, or shape you into being who you are right now, sitting in front of us.
Yes.
You ended up being diagnosed with cancer.
That's correct.
It was breast cancer, right?
Yeah, so it was exactly 2 years after the loss of Bay. Not exactly, but the same month. And yes, I was diagnosed with stage 3 triple positive breast cancer.
My gosh. What does that mean exactly, triple positive cancer?
Yeah, so there's all different types of breast cancer, and then you've got all your different stages. So the triple positive is positive for estrogen. So estrogen helps feed and helps the cancer grow. The progesterone helps the cancer grow. And then the third one is HER2, which is a protein receptor that helps the cancer grow. So I've just had lots of things that help the cancer grow. Whilst it had a lot of things that help the cancer grow, it also gives us a couple of extra tools to stop the cancer growing. So if we can take away what's feeding the cancer, what the cancer's growing off, then it gives us a little bit more of an opportunity to control that. So that was the type of cancer that I had, but there's quite a few different cancers, breast cancers.
And what was your feeling or thought when you heard those words that you were diagnosed with the stage 3 breast cancer?
Yeah, so...
Other than, you stupid universe, how dare you do this to me?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask me why, or... how did I find that I had cancer? And I said, well, I found a lump. And they said, well, how long was the lump there? And I had known that the lump was there for a little while, but I actually didn't act upon it because in my mind, I was thinking, I've been through hell and back. I've been through enough. There's no way this is breast cancer. I'll just keep an eye on it to see how it's going. And then my husband found the lump and said, we're going to the doctor straight away. So I went to the doctor and she said, oh, yeah, look, yes, it could be breast cancer, so we'll send you for an ultrasound. So off I went to my ultrasound by myself, and when they were doing the ultrasound and mammogram, basically one of the sonographers said to me, yes, it's malignant. She told me there and then in the room. And unfortunately, it wasn't delivered in the way that I would have liked.
No? Were you even expecting to hear anything?
No, because I didn't bring my husband with me. He was up in Perth. And she just kind of said it like, I don't know. She just had no regard that this was like life-changing. I don't know why she didn't think it was, but... So I immediately went into meltdown and just went, no, I'm not moving. So they had to change all the people that were coming into the room, into another room and everything, because I'm like, nah, I just can't move. I'm waiting here until my husband can get here. So it was 2 hours that he took to get there.
I am not moving.
But that was a little bit of a freeze state. So that's when your nervous system is just completely melting down. And it was also me probably connecting to what my body needed. I didn't need to go and drive home by myself. I didn't need to sit in a waiting room with all these other people. I needed space by myself. So there was a lot going on then, and the time went very quickly. I was messaging family, oh my God, I've got cancer, but we didn't know what stage it was. So that was when they did biopsies and sent it away to get the stage and what type of breast cancer it was. So that was a week later, an agonising week, and then I went to my GP and she just said, yeah, you've got cancer. It's cancer and it's stage 3. And that's when I just went, because I knew enough about cancer to know that stage 3 is not a stage that you want, but it could have been worse. But I didn't, again, hear much what was going on in that conversation. And I just remember I had this overwhelming feeling to just want to lay on the ground. I was just like, the ground. I just remember looking at it going, I need to lay down. I need to lay down. So, and I was burping a lot. Like instantly my system went into this funny state. And so that was where everything just... The next couple of weeks were crazy mad with lots of tests, lots of decisions to make, and I very quickly collected a team of people around me to support me through that journey.
I'm not sure if you would be able to say, because it's probably an unknown and maybe more theory-based, but do they know potential cause for why this cancer had occurred?
Well, no, they don't know exactly why a cancer occurs. There's many different factors, but there's enough study around epigenetics, which is like how our genes are being influenced by our environment. So what's our environment? Well, it could be belief systems, thought patterns, traumas, stresses, or it could be what you put into your body. It could be toxins, it could be food, it could be diet, alcohol. Yeah, so there's many different reasons. For me, I think it was my past traumas, a lot of them unresolved and a lot of them very fresh. So I think major stress is known to cause be at a high risk for cancers. But I was also had fuel in my body as well. So not only had I disrupted my immune system through having traumas, but I also had that fuel with the many rounds of IVF.
And so when you found out that you had the stage 3 breast cancer, and obviously you said your body went into a freeze state and you had your nervous system breaking down, what was sort of maybe after that had sort of you had time to process it, I suppose, what was your mindset then going into attacking this cancer?
So it's really interesting how the human just instinctively wants to survive at all costs. I just find that really incredibly interesting, and I reflect on that a fair bit because I often have seen people that are so unwell that they don't even look alive and that they're not living a life that is alive at all, that they're just surviving. But they want to survive, but they have no quality of life. And so, you know, I think it's just this innate thing, survive at all cost. So I just instantly, there was no decision to be made. I was gonna beat this. I was gonna survive, and there's a lot of fear around that, for sure. I think the first 6 months was a lot of fear. Was I going to survive? But I put in so many things into place. It was like I just stepped into that elite athlete mode and took it on board like that. I had a naturopath. I had a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. I had my GP, my surgeon, my oncologist, and we formulated a plan, and my oncologist was happy with the supplements that I was taking, and I was doing a lot of physical therapies. So I was doing a dry skin brushing. That's to really allow the skin to detoxify, because the skin is a major detoxifying organ. It helps improve lymphatic flow. Your lymph is your immune system, and it also removes toxins as well. And I was doing hot and cold showers again, so that improves the immune response, and it helps the lymph system. It tones the vascular system. It helps with mood, helps with discipline. It has huge amounts of benefits. It makes you feel really good.
And so this brushing that you were doing, so after you had like a round of chemo, you would then do the brushing
every single morning. Every morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or to try and brush out any chemical that would be going through the body.
Sloughing off dead skin. That's all you're doing. Yeah, so very gently, it doesn't hurt. So it's just keeping the integrity of your skin really healthy. But the benefits of that are that it just stimulates the lymphatic flow and allows the skin to breathe enough to allow it's part of the detoxification process. Your body's removing toxins. So I looked at diet. So I had a specific diet that I did. I can't remember. I did nearly everything you could imagine. It was quite full on. Like I was taking a lot of supplements, more than I could handle in a day. It was just like, oh no, not another tablet. And there's lots of things that natural therapies can do to support all the side effects. So I didn't have any. Oh, that's what I was doing. I was doing coconut oil. What's it called? Swishing.
Okay, like a gargle through the mouth.
Yeah, there's a certain name for it, I've forgotten.
Okay.
But yeah, putting coconut oil in your mouth and you swish it around and then spit it out.
What's that meant to do?
Well, it's supposed to pull out toxins, but I don't think there's a lot of science on it. I don't think there is that many science, but it's a really old tradition. I think in Ayurvedic, I thought, what the heck? And I just did it anyway. But I reckon that it really helped with my gum health.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it's got the natural antibacterials and also nourishing for the mucous membranes, which are all problems with chemo side effects.
Yes, yeah. So I did really well with chemo. I think everything I was doing allowed me to get through with no major mishaps. I did have to have a blood transfusion. But in regards to being sick, I didn't have to be hospitalised for being sick, coming down with a cold or a flu or anything. I didn't have any ulcers in my mouth or anything like that. For me, my bowels were the biggest one because the chemotherapy really destructs the bowels. So that was hard. But I've got some tips around that, but it's just a real juggling act as well. So, yeah, I think, if people choose not to use natural medicines because some oncologists don't like natural medicines with oncology, with chemotherapy. But there's heaps of things that you can do for the side effects if you're not going to take the other stuff. But I did everything.
So your approach to using the natural medicine was to help with... Was it to help get rid of the cancer as well as to support your body's recovery and support side effects?
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Hitting it from all angles. And another thing that I did, which I think was probably the number one key to the whole treatment, was fasting. I fasted for 40 hours before and after. So in total, 40 hours before and after chemotherapy.
Wow.
Yes. So I did that.
Do you think that's why you didn't get nauseous, or?
Yeah, so there is studies to show that it improves gut, protects the gut, and you don't get as nauseous. So yeah, there's heaps of benefit. So when the cell is stressed, it goes into this protective mode, and it seems that the chemotherapy only really it doesn't seem to impact the healthy cell, and the chemotherapy is really attacking the cancer. So with my particular treatment, I had to decide between surgery first or chemotherapy first. And I decided on chemotherapy first, which is really unusual. And so what I found the benefit of that was that we could actually see whether I was responding to chemotherapy. So you could see my cancer shrinking. If you take the cancer out first, you've got no idea whether you're really responding to cancer, to the chemotherapy. That, I think, might be a new way in the future to do it that way. I don't know. But I think also that allowed me to feel a lot more confident earlier because I was certain that the cancer was reducing.
And overall, how long was this treatment?
a year and a half. It was like 18 months or something, 19 months. So, it was a lot of chemotherapy.
And did you have Bay there with you through it? Like, did you feel like spiritually she was there supporting you, or did you pull on that at all? Or
I do pull on her a lot, but at that time I actually really separated myself from the loss of Bay. I couldn't think about her much, and it was a bit of a difficult time. It was all too overwhelming. Like the trauma and the shock of the cancer was enough for me to deal with, that I couldn't think about the loss of Bay. It was still there, but I had shoved it aside. It takes energy. It really takes a lot of energy to do the work, the grieving work, and I just couldn't do both at the same time. Yeah, it's a really long journey, the grieving journey, and because there was the shock, the trauma, and how complex my specific situation was, it's a lot to work through. So I'm going through that journey and quite enjoying that growth. I still wish that she could be with me today, but I somehow have to integrate this story into my life, and that's what I'm trying to do.
So after moving through the cancer and recovering, what has this done for you moving forward? How do you feel like it shaped you for your future, I suppose, as a naturopath and as a person that's walking through community and connecting with other people? What's sort of your goal or your dream, or how has it shaped you?
Well, I feel like I'm muddling my way through it, to be honest, but yet I am having incredible breakthroughs. I am learning so much about myself, and I do have so far to go, but I know that this growth is just really allowing me to be a better practitioner. I'm utilising what I'm learning and sharing it in retreats and with my patients. So I guess I'm just looking forward to continuing my personal journey and helping as many people as possible, because I know that I have so much experience, so much lived experience that, I do get it, people that have been in a similar situation. And you can never fully understand exactly what someone's going through. Holding that compassion is a really nice skill to have as a practitioner, to be able to really hold space for someone and just feel your patients. And yeah, it's just a work in progress.
And what sort of work do you do now with people? You've mentioned a couple of things so far around workshops and retreats and your consults. Can you sort of explain a little bit about, if someone wants to work with you, what sort of options there are?
Yeah, so you can just do a one-on-one appointment. So most people that come to see me are wanting to address a chronic condition, a condition that's been there for a long time. So that usually takes 3 or 4 consults. But I do have the wellness package, and that's for people that are willing to commit to 9 months of working with me. And that's for people that have quite a complex condition or are just really wanting to up-level their life. So I do a lot of coaching, I guess, mindset, and change doesn't happen instantly. Like, you have to integrate it into your life, and you need that support, and you need to be held accountable. And once you've made those small steps, then it's time to integrate another thing. So that's where the package comes in. I'll be looking at, in the future, sort of collating a lot of my processes that I've used through my healing, and knowing which ones are the most important ones to get the quickest results is what I need to sort of pull together. So that will, if I do it in a package program, like a course, that will allow the price point to be a little bit lower and people to get all the wisdom that I have created over my lifetime. And then the retreats, they're fun. Yeah, so fun. Lots of delicious food. The 3-day retreat I have been trying to integrate play with spirituality, so they don't have to be separate. And I'm trying to connect to those people that don't want all the woo-woo stuff, but maybe want to put their little foot in and go, yeah, I'll give that a try. And so I had people on my retreat that had never done yoga before, had never done anything woo-woo, right? Not saying yoga is, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, that's mainstream now.
yeah, totally. But... And, we went out to lunch, we were having wine tastings, and we had so much fun, but we had incredible breakthroughs, absolutely incredible breakthroughs, and I didn't expect that. So it just goes to show that we don't have to be so serious. And so that, I guess, is one of my journeys, that I need to bring a lot more play. Like, as a child, everything was disciplined. It was so dogmatic. We weren't allowed to talk in gymnastics. We would get told off. We'd get disciplined if we were talking. So, like, I'm a very serious person, so I just want to bring a little bit more play into my work, and that was one way to do it. And then I've done day retreats where it's a little snippet of what I can do in a day, where you get to connect with other women. A lot of the work that I do is with women, and I might do some retreats and invite men in, or do couple retreats or something. But I'm just going with the flow at the moment and really enjoying my journey through all of this. And I've still got a lot of work to do personally, and at some stage I'll have this course out, so watch this space.
And so where can people find you and all of that information?
So I try and be active on social media, Facebook and Instagram. Oh my gosh, you can find me on there, but I do find the best way, if you really want to stay up to date with any offerings, jump onto my website, traceygartner.com, and sign up to my mailing list, because when it comes into your inbox, you generally don't miss it. But social media, with all the algorithms, you actually miss some people's. Like, you just don't see half of what's being posted. So, yeah.
I'll add the links into our show notes anyway for your website and your social media accounts, so people can find you and get in touch with you.
Yeah.
I want to say thank you so much for being so brave and vulnerable today and sharing all of your stories. They're big, big events, but they have made you this gem treasure that... you will change so many people's lives. I think people that work with you, life-changing.
Thank you.
So I'm sorry that you've been through what you've been through. I really, really am. Nobody should ever have to go through that stuff. But thank you for sharing them and sharing it with the world. Yes,
I hope it kind of came out making a little bit of sense, because I think when you have had those big life events and traumas, I've always found it very hard to articulate and try and make sense of it. I'm still trying to make sense of it all. Yeah.
No, I think you've done a good job.
Oh,
You've definitely got a few good chunks there. And if any of the listeners have particularly connected with one component of it and they're interested in hearing more, maybe we can expand on some of the areas going forward. But so anyway, thank you so much, Tracey.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks for having me. It's been nice.